Yeah, the Preseen has 5 exhibits. I believe we're aware of that. Now we have exhibit one. This is about you. So you are Matthew Demudia. So yeah, now in no case should you say I am Babalola. No, the name you have or you bear, as far as this case study is concerned, is what? Matthew Demudia. So now you are an accounting graduate, you're writing professional level, and you work as finance and business analyst with which company? Defcon Manufacturing Limited. So you report to Tarufa Gambari, the company's director of finance. So that's your line manager. So in no case should you be another name. As far as case study is concerned, that's your name. First of all, what we just read now, we would use it to deduce whether you're writing an internal or an external report. So it's internal or external report. So first of all, who are you and your position? You are Matthew Demudia and you are the word finance and business analyst at Defcon Manufacturing Limited. Now, this is your line manager. But if you are to address the report, you would address the report to the board. That will be in your unseen. So yeah, this is the predicted unseen. And as you can see, address the report to the board of DML. That's a Defcon Manufacturing Limited. So yeah, who are you addressing the report to? So that's the next question. So addressing the report to what? Board of directors. Board of directors of Defcon Manufacturing Limited. So with this explanation now, are you writing an internal report or an external report?
You'll be writing an internal report.
Internal report.
Very good. Yeah, you're writing an internal report. So yeah, I would say that you are writing an internal report because the report is addressed to internal parties, board of directors of the organization you work for. That's it. So now we now have your responsibilities. You know, this is usually a constant thing. It's usually a constant thing in all case studies.
Okay, my question is this. As it is now, what is the name of the organization that will be the heading of this of the cover page now? Is it the department or still the name of the manufacturing company itself?
Though we are coming to that, but it's the name of the company, which is Defcon Manufacturing Limited. In this case, it's an internal report that will be written. And on the internal report, definitely to carry the name of the organization. I believe, I've taught you all these things. So to those of you guys that have been in the class since February, I've taught you guys. And Mr. Good, you are part of them.
But if it is external, it's the name of the company, the consultant that is writing the report. That is what I'm saying. I'm asking. So I was like, why don't it be the name of the department in the case of internal report?
Where you write the name of the department is a different case. Like that's a different thing I explained here. I mean, have you seen a letter that they write the accounting department as the heading?
Okay, on the memo. Okay. It's noted. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, sir. But I've seen an internal letter where it will be indicated from the department the letter is emanating from. For instance, if maybe a circular from an accounting department is normally written as from finance and accounts to the management or to the HR or to whoever it is going to, date and subjects.
From and to is a different case. We were talking about heading here. I'm saying that have you ever seen an internal report, the heading, whereby instead of the name of the organization, they will write accounting department? That was the question I asked.
Okay. No, I've
No,
not seen something like
it's
that.
likely.
So now for the responsibilities, yeah, this is giving you an indication of the requirements. Whatever they ask you, whatever your responsibilities here, will be tested in the requirements. Now, first one is preparing detailed financial analysis and report on the performance of the company. Here now they will ask you to do financial statement analysis, using ratios and the likes. Yeah. Now, analyze the financial statement to identify area of weakness. That's still under financial statement analysis. So, analyze the financial statement to identify area of weaknesses. That's still under financial statement analysis. Now, assess the operational and strategic business proposals. So, basically, what this is trying to say is that they would give you proposals in the unseen, and it is for you to now analyze it. And not only analyzing it, tell us, should we go ahead with the proposal or not? It can be a proposal of investing in a new technology, or it can be that we are trying to introduce new products, and so on and so forth. So it's for you to now assess this. And when you assess it, you would give the recommendation whether or not they should go ahead with the proposals. Yeah, so that's it. So then the next is what? Assessing the company's financial and business forecasts. So basically, they can also provide you information that has to do with the business forecast. You get? So the another one is analyzing the company's internal and external business environment. So this is where you would use the models, either SWOT, either Pestel, and the likes. Here, note that you can also be asked to analyze the internal and external environment. So then another is you should advise the board, on sustainability issues. So now recently in recent diet, ICAN has been including sustainability. So they're just trying to align with the global practice. Another is drafting the report, for your boss. You get that? That is, you'll be asked to draft the report. So that's ultimately what they'll also ask you to do. They'll ask you to draft a report for your boss. And you submit the report, you address it to the board of directors. So now then also that for you to be able to carry out the responsibilities effectively, you need to be aware of the development in the accounting and taxation space. So what I was trying to say is that you need to be updated about what is going on in the industry, sanitary and diaper industry. So that's it anyway. That's it.
This second to the last point, the right preparation of companies' annual sustainability reports. Is it different from the report that will be drafted for the boss? Are we going to write two different reports?
So here is it now for the sustainability. It's not like you are drafting a different report. It's just for you to comment on whether what the organization is embarking on, whether it's in line, whether the proposals, whether they are sustainable, and they give us some responses to the sustainability. So all those sustainability responses that they give us, we now compare those proposals, try to check. Okay, for example, now they are trying to ensure that the materials are biodegradable. At least they can decompose naturally. So now, if they are now telling you that the company wants to introduce new products, so you need to now comment on the fact that this new product, the company will use biodegradable materials. The company will be using organic cotton. This product, it's based on what? Reusable parts. This product, it's the design and durability is okay. Things like that. You just comment, on the sustainability issues that are raised. So now we have exhibit 2. So this is exhibit 2. It talks about the Nigerian economy. They'll give you information about Nigerian, like what's happening in the Nigerian economy. And here now you can get information about wider context. You can get information about opportunities and threats. Yeah. Information regarding personal, political, economic, social, cultural. That's if you want to use personal. You should be able to get those points. Yeah. So now let's go ahead. So I try to tell that one key development since the elections is the challenging economic situation in Nigeria. It has adversely affected the country's socio-economic landscape, and the likes. But they're trying to tell us that the government has implemented economic reforms such as flotation, removal of petroleum subsidy, and so on. So this is just talking about the political environment. We can also relate it to opportunities or threats. So that's if we are using SWOT.
I wanted to ask about this using of SWOT, pestle, and the likes. So if we are asked to talk about the opportunities and threats, are we using the opportunities and threats in the whole economy to Defcon in particular, or we're supposed to use the opportunities and threats residing with Defcon themselves? Like, I'm confused. If we are going to use SWOT to analyze, now you're just explaining the exhibit that they gave us about the Nigerian economy as a whole concerning their industry. So now my question is that if we were to use SWOT to analyze, are we picking out points from the exhibit given to us about the economy as a whole, or we are picking points concerning the issue that would have been given to us about Defcon themselves? I don't know if you understand. So it's just like somebody coming to talk about the opportunities and the threats that rely with tutorial centers in general, and then there is Excel Academy's opportunities and threats, and I want to analyze Excel Academy. So am I using the one that relates to tutorial centers in general, or the one that actually relates to Excel themselves?
Okay. First of all, now, when you are talking about opportunities and threats, there cannot be specific. Opportunities and threats, they are in the external business environment. They are like strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, they are internal. Opportunities and threats, they can come from the industry, they can come from the general economy. So not that it will be specific. So if you are analyzing as an academic, for example, now, the opportunities and threats, you can pick it from the immediate environment of the academy, or the industry, or even the economy as a whole. For example, now, removal of petrol subsidy. What would happen? Petrol prices would go up. Petrol prices went up. Now, what will be the impact on Defcon manufacturing? They will be incurring what? High cost of production as a result of what? The high cost of fuel. Simple.
Yes, I understand perfectly. Thank you. But the strengths and the weaknesses will be the ones relying with Defcon themselves, Abby.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So that's a here to address socio-economic challenges, optimize the country's potential, and so on and so forth. So the answer, therefore, the reforms seem to have temporarily constrained the performance of the real sector, thus suppressing overall economic outcomes. So furthermore, the Russia-Ukraine crisis and the resulting disruptions in the global supply chain. So here now, there's a disruption in the global supply chain here alongside energy and food crisis. They're just giving us information about the Nigerian economy generally here. So let's switch. That's good. Here now, I said the Nigeria's economic growth remains fragile and it resulted in escalating inflationary pressures, exchange rates depreciation, and fiscal constraints. So the factors hindered productivity, curtailed performance of the real sector, and diminished the positive impact. So what we're trying to say here, what we're trying to say here is that we have some factors in the economy, that would most likely affect the operation of Defcon. So, for example, the inflationary pressures. Do you get? So all this you can highlight it in the wider context. Do you get? And you can also identify them in the threat. So let me just put comments there. Wider context. And we can also identify them as what? As threat. And identify them as threat. So I hope we are noting that. Alright. So yeah, I said that's true. Though Nigeria has the potential to enhance local and livestock production, but here there are insecurity and terrorist activities that is impeding farming activities. So now, how does farming now relate to the diaper and sanitary pads that we are producing? If I may ask you guys.
Well, local sourcing of local materials such as cotton will be difficult for the company, and as such, if it is limited, it will lead to high cost of getting it, which will impact on the selling price of the product that the company produce, and then reducing the number of people that would have loved to buy their product. And again, insecurity that hinder people from taking part in agricultural business, impede on the financial strength of the consumers, by implication reducing, contracting demand for the product of the company that manufacture in Nigeria.
Okay, fantastic. What I was trying to say is that the materials used in the production of diapers and the sanitary pads, with the insecurity and the terrorist activities, it can affect the supply of these materials. So when it affects it, what would happen?
There will be high cost of production, and that will translate to the high price and making it unaffordable to their customers.
To limit the raw material, it will limit availability of raw materials.
Very good. It will limit availability of material. So, and when there's availability of materials, definitely it will affect the production. So, we have threat. So, we're told that the dependence not only on strange available foreign exchange reserves, but also on the escalation of imported inflation. So, the inflation, depreciation of local currency too, that's also a contributing factor. So as a result of the supply chain disruptions and impeded farming activities, food inflation has increased. So food inflation increased. The elimination of petrol subsidies have also impacted. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier. It also affected the fuel and transportation cost. So all these would also contribute negatively to the operations of Defcon. So I said, in conjunction with the global energy prices, the removal of petrol subsidies significantly increased production expenses for majority of micro and small, that's majority of SMEs. It's the removal of subsidies. So that's why I explained that this is also a threat. So keep noting that, they are threat. So what else do we have? So now we now have challenges in the economy. Now, these challenges in the economy now, how do you think it will affect Defcon from your own view?
The challenges in the economy, they are similar to what we've noted earlier. For example, the issue of inflation and exchange rate volatility, which would be increasing the cost of production. Then environmental unemployment, unemployment tends to increase social vices, which can lead to maybe disruption of the company facilities. The unemployment tends to affect the patronage of Defcon products. And then the issue of infrastructure. Infrastructure will also have a adverse effect on the activities of Defcon. For example, if there is no motorable road, for the product of Defcon to get to the final consumer will be difficult. Also, part of infrastructure we have electricity. So if there is not enough electricity to produce, it will also increase the cost of production.
All right, so yeah, we have challenges in the economy. So now the first one is the unemployment. Now, what impact do you think this would have for Defcon?
Unemployment will lead to increase in social vices, which can have an adverse effect on the facilities of the Defcon. Maybe the unemployed people trying to get involved in social unrest, which will affect the facilities of Defcon. And also unemployment will lead to a low purchasing power. Like a person that's not employed will not be able to get a revenue to get Defcon products.
Okay, fantastic. This unemployment, inflation, the exchange rate volatility, the infrastructure, everything here they are threats. They are threats to Defcon. So we highlight them as threats. So call them threats. So in this case, if you ask to identify the opportunities and threats in the unseen, you would list all this under what? You list all this in your report. You explain them. You also include how it relates to Defcon, the employment, the social vices, and the social unrest. It can affect the operation of Defcon because it can result in vandalization of Defcon's amenities and the likes. So inflation too, it's also affecting the cost of Defcon. And that's cost of operation. Then exchange rate volatility too definitely is also affecting Defcon's operations. So also the poor infrastructure definitely is also affecting the sales because now not only sales, it's also even affecting production because there's inadequate water, there's poor road and the likes. So all these are adverse effects. So we'd note them. Now let's go to the opportunities. All right. So for the opportunities now, our opportunities in the economy now. So first one we have agriculture. So what do we have to say about agriculture? Yeah, Defcon can also exploit this. That is, not only would Defcon rely on a supplier to supply the materials, Defcon can also expand into what production of the materials. Yeah, Defcon can do this. So the industrial development. So we know we have the industrial development like the fintech and the likes. That is going digital, embracing technological advancements. So yeah, we can say that Defcon 2 should exploit that. So renewable energy too. If there is high fuel cost, which would result in high cost of production, Defcon can exploit this renewable energy such as solar, and the likes. So these are opportunities to Defcon too. So opportunities to Defcon. So note that. So we also have mining and mineral resources. So here they are untapped mineral resources. So if Defcon want to diversify, Defcon can also look into what? The mining industry. So all these are opportunities for Defcon. So I also want to talk about the business environment. I'll talk about business environment. So here we have business environment here. This is the manufacturing sector. So there are policies that are guiding these sectors. Policies that are guiding sectors, and Also, government policy too, if it is too strict, it can be a threat to the economy, and it can even be an opportunity too. So if it's too strict, definitely a threat. So it can be an opportunity if the company is like providing maybe loan support for companies in this industry. So if let's say the government is providing loan support and Defcon now took advantage of this loan support, what will happen to the operation of Defcon?
It will accelerate their progress.
All right, so it will accelerate their progress. That is, it will improve the operations.
They will also have
Defcon.
access to more funds to operate more smoothly.
Exactly. So access to funds to what? To improve the operations. So and so on and so forth like that. Alright, let's go ahead. So let's also talk about the exhibit 3, the Nigerian diaper and sanitary pad industry. So this one is specific now. So diaper, so here now, this is mostly for children and the females.
They wear not pad, this other one, diaper, adult one.
Like for people with health issues.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, they
And
even
for
mentioned
some
it
adults
here.
that bed wet.
So here now, aside from the diapers for children, the pads, sanitary pads for the females, those that are elderly or those that have physical and mental disability or those with medical issues, or those working in extreme conditions, they also use these pads. You get, I also use them. So and yeah, it's a disposable materials. That's trying to tell us what the diaper mean. It's a disposable material. And now they're not trying to tell us that the diaper market is what? Is 69.5 billion. It's 69.5 billion and it's projected to reach 4.3 billion. So now what's Nigeria's percentage now, or Nigeria's quota? So we'll continue to reach. So here now the human sanitary napkins, which is also known as sanitary pads. And they are trying to explain what it's about. And here now the market value now is 23.63 billion. Also there is estimated population of 220 people and the estimated national growth rate of 5.7%. So which means that Nigeria has a large market for sanitary pads. So all this we are going to take note. So now the large market for sanitary pads. Now what does it mean? It's an opportunity now. As is Defcon should take advantage. That is the market is what is large. It has high potential. You get that? It has high potential. It has high potential. So that are we still together, guys? Let's make progress. So here now we're now told that we have production of sanitary pads. So here now the production of the sanitary pads is estimated to be less than 20% of the demand, and the rest are to be what? Imported. So now, I said currently we have over 4 billion diapers that have been imported, and it's detrimental to the economy. So if Defcon can position itself well, instead of importing diapers, Defcon will be the what? Will be the supplier of diapers to the Nigerian economy. Now, the intention of government is to stop importation and see how local resources could be used together. And some companies are into petrochemicals. So here now, this is obviously an opportunity. It's an opportunity. So take note of that. Take note of that. So after that now, that according to the one-time permanent secretary, here now the sanitary pads industry now. It is a strategic tool for national development. So it helps in job creation and economic growth. You get. So and also now So they're also trying to tell us about the birth rate, so that we can know how many babies that are being what brought to life. So as to know the demand. So here we have 5.9 million babies. So the demand for the diapers also will be on the high side. You get to be on the high side. So let's take note. On the downside, the shortfall in supply is reversible. Here now the sanitary pads and the diapers production now. It is one of the most viable industries. So note that. The shortfall now is reversible if Defcon position itself well. And they are still trying to tell you that the diapers production is one of the most viable industries. And yeah, with government plans to make production of sanitary pads and diapers, this is an opportunity for what investment in the industry. So it's still what we've been saying so far. That is with the demand, and the government plan to stop importation. Definitely, this would be an opportunity for Defcon to expand and what position itself well. You get that, so as to what, so as to take advantage of the high demand. So I hope we are following this. Any questions so far? No response.
Yes, yeah.
All right, let's make
I have a
progress.
question, please.
What do you say?
So I have a question. I wanted to draw your attention to this, still in this Nigerian diaper, the second paragraph. How do we bring in the washable and reusable diaper that they are talking about? How do we link it for the impact to DEFCON? What can we use that information? How do we bring in that information?
How do we do what?
How do we use the information that they provided of having a washable diaper, that is a reusable diaper? How do we link it to become either a threat or an opportunity to DEFCON?
Okay. The reusable diaper now. Yeah, from what you said now, I've not established a this thing. What are they calling it now? It's not an opportunity. Yeah, they are just trying to tell us that. Okay, they're just trying to describe the type of diaper that it is. And here now, we can say that it's sustainable because in line with the sustainability issues, they mentioned something like reusable pads. Do you get that? So yeah, when we're talking about sustainability, you can say that okay, the products are what they are sustainable. You get, because they are reusable, and we just link it with those sustainability issues that were listed. I hope you are getting it.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Let's make progress. Let's make valuable progress. How is it?
Mr. Ahmed, sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, ma.
Okay. So, if we are looking at using reusable diapers, a sanitary pad from the aspect of sustainability. So, normally, I don't think anybody thinks that washable sanitary pads are are beneficial health-wise. So if we're talking about sustainability, that's this triple P something. If they are producing washable pads, then we could say that it could pose an health hazard to the people. So why are we looking at it from the aspect of, it will maybe reduce loitering, so then because me, I'm looking at it from the aspect of it is not a nice thing to using pads is absorbing waste coming out of our body. So how many people would wash it properly? How would you even wash it? And how many people would even wash it properly that they can use it again and then use it again and then I don't know. So my question is, why are you looking at it from an aspect of a good rather than bad?
Okay. There are always two sides to a coin. In line with reality now, we know that it has that implication. Some people may not wash it well. But now, in line with what we're given, I said sustainability issues. Let me scroll to that place. Sustainability issues now. Yeah, I said that the following sustainable production methods for sanitary pads and diapers, which focuses on reducing adverse environmental impact, they are being considered. One is reducible. You get that is reusable cloth pads. They are made from absorbable cotton materials, and they can be washed. It can be washed and reused multiple times. So what they are just trying to say is that just like checking the gutter of your area now, you see that it's just clumped up with waste, like bottles, all those plastic bottles and the likes. So reducing something like that, reducing those waste is number one, having a reusable pad, not that you use it once and throw it away. Do you get that? So, but now we can also comment on the adverse impact, so as the disadvantages. Do you get? So it's as simple and straightforward as that.
Okay, thanks, sir.
All right, any other query?
Yeah, my question is this.
So I think I agree with you, because if we even look at that part of the sustainability, they mentioned that they are looking at green manufacturing, that's advocating for green manufacturing, and there has been an improvement in the designs and the way it is now, the way of diverting people's attention. Just like you said, people are not looking at it from that angle. Now, if Defcon should look towards that area, then they will be able to sustain themselves, because it's more like letting people know that you can even save your money by, instead of buying used and throw away, you will be able to save costs by buying and reusing. That they will do it in a way that is more quality, and then they will introduce an absorbent chemical that will make it easy or better, or that will make it less health issue, because of the improved technologies that they are going to use. So I think on that side, it tends towards sustainability.
I believe you are enjoying the class, right? Yeah. Send a message to the number showing on the screen to get the complete video, complete predicted unseen and suggested solution. Cheers.